Right, let's take you live now to our reporter, Nqobile Madlala, who is still at the scene of this crime. Nqobile, good evening to you. This happened, we understand, close to midday, but as you will tell us in a moment, the understanding is that the police, the family members are only just collecting his possessions. Tell us what we know so far.
Well, what we know, Xoli, is that they've already taken a car which he was driving, which was a VW car, which was here. We saw his belonging then being taken away from this point. We also know that at this point, the family is obviously still trying to get as much investigation as possible with regards to what took place in this area. But at the same time, we understand that some of his family, those who are very close to him, have been able to come to a point where they can come and see where this has taken place. And of course, it's been very difficult, as you heard there from the sister who had said that we have to respect really the person that he was, what he stood for. What we understand is that he was here, and we understand that his car was just parked here at Xoli. But in this building around here, some of the buildings that he was personally renovating with his team. And we understand that a security company was working in these buildings. This is mainly because he was quite outspoken about hijacked buildings, but he believed that it was very important for him to take this moment to be able to renovate these buildings because of the fact that hijacked buildings have been such a major issue in Johannesburg. So some of his friends, Xoli, are still here to speak to us, and I want to just get details from this gentleman who had been working with him, just how difficult it is for him to be in the space when you know that your friend and a colleague that you have been with has passed away in a place where really is supposed to be renovating and changing the city in itself.
Yeah, so it's very hard so that we hear just a few hours after what happened, and it looked like nothing happened here at all today. So, we're basically a few meters away from where Warras was taken down, and it's business as normal. People are walking over where he was shot. No evidence we weren't here when evidence was taken or anything like that. But we hope that justice is served with Warras, and we will not keep quiet about this because there's definitely something that's not right about this. And it's unfortunate our friend was taken down today for something good that he was doing that other people couldn't provide their services for. So yeah, it's very upsetting.
And as a person that have known him for so long, what was his mindset around maybe changing the city and reclaiming the city?
So Warras wasn't just someone that would speak about something, he would act upon it also. And if you go onto his Twitter daily, he would be saying what they're doing in Hillbrow, what they're doing around town with hijacked buildings and so forth. And obviously there's people that didn't like that, or there's other people that were speaking against him, or they wished against him, which is not cool. So I hope that justice is served with Warras, because we won't keep quiet about it, that's for sure.
And what kind, as a friend, what would be justice for you?
You know, finding the killer, because how does someone kill someone in a busy street like this and just get away with it? You know what I'm saying? The people that are here with guns and stuff, do they not chase after the person? Do they not? It's like a movie here, you know what I'm saying? Does everybody freeze, or what happens here? So that's all the questions that us as friends have now asking about Warras, because it's very shocking what just happened here today.
And how are you going to remember him?
As the outspoken person that's always spoke for what is right, no matter what. He didn't care who was involved or what was involved. Warras spoke up against those people, and I will always remember that about him.
Very important. Known as a person that has been outspoken about various issues that are affecting the city, and mainly one of those with regards to hijacked buildings, Xoli. And as you can see there, we are trying to get to the point so we can show you, Xoli, where this took place. Now, where we are walking past, it's actually a butchery. We're told by people that were here on the scene that they saw him come from the corner, run up here, and he had already been shot. Some of them saying that they heard some of that shooting taking taking place. Others were saying that they only heard 2 bullets being shot, and then they saw him in a position where he had sort of lost a little bit of power, missing his steps, and he would later pass away just here. And this is where we saw the family also cleaning up and sort of having that moment to inspect him, to look at him again. The sister being quite brave. She was one of the people when they opened up that was in there, and also was one of the people that were helping to clean, getting the water to clean. But what's interesting about what has taken place here also, Paul, is that even though this is such a busy CBD area, a lot of people have said that they're scared to speak. They're saying they're scared to speak because when the incident took place, they do believe that there's 3 unknown men. Some of them actually lingered around before leaving just to make sure that nobody is going to speak. So some of them were talking to us off camera, saying that they fear for their lives, so they cannot speak out. But we know that the police are currently investigating a case of murder. We know that also the family is waiting to understand what is taking place. We have heard from his friends who are saying that they will not stop, that they will speak out. This is a man who had carved a great history and the work in the industry, in TV and radio. He's a man that has been known for his craft, and for the mere fact that he was outspoken about any illegality or unlawfulness that was taking place in the city shows that he was one of the people that was quite patriotic in the country. So this is the place, Kolia. Unfortunately, it's business as usual now, but just moments ago, the family had to come to terms with their loved ones having to lay on that road just right in front of everybody, and no one willing to talk.
Nqobile, I wonder whether before we let you go, you're able to describe what at least some of those, even though they will not speak on camera, but what it is that people saw. The understanding is that this may have been a drive-by shooting, so people were in a vehicle that opened fire, shooting at him. Do we know what car police could possibly be looking for? At this stage, we know that the motive has yet to be established, but someone needs to answer for this crime. This is a young person who lives behind young children as well.
Well, Polly, from what we have heard from those that could speak off camera, what they told us was that they saw 3 men. They're saying one of them, actually describing him as a person who was actually smoking around the area. They're saying then they saw and heard the shooting, and so people then ran away, scattering, and only saw later on that he was shot 2 times. Some of them describing that injury to be on his chest. And when they were looking at him, we saw also the forensics people, when they opened it up, they also looked in his upper area. Nobody is really sure as to what was the motive for this killing, but a lot of talking and murmur around here really looks at the fact that it could potentially have to do with the hijacked buildings that are around here. But of course, this is still speculation, and this is why it's important to let the police to do the investigation. But they've spoken about the fact that he actually comes here at the same time every day, and they're saying that every time he travels here, he would usually come with a lot of guards that would guard him, or bodyguards. But today he had decided that he would come alone, and it seemed after he was alone, then that's when he got attacked. And they're saying that it's the first time they had seen him walking alone in this area specifically, but every single day he would come here to check the work that was taking place. And they've also explained that a lot of people that are around him would usually be armed, which sort of speaks to the security that he's kind of needed. So people saying that even though they didn't get to see the actual moment when he was being shot at, but when they actually heard the shooting taking place, that's when they got scared and everyone scattered. And they would later come in, and one person who had seen him before he actually passed away says when they got here, he was still breathing, and they then went on to rush and call an ambulance. But unfortunately, unfortunately he then would succumb to his injuries. Some also saying that he was trying to fight back, but he couldn't, as he was losing a lot of blood. They've spoken about just how much blood was on the floor here, and we saw also with the families for them, as they were trying to clear up this area, they at least used more than 3 buckets of 20 liters to try and clear the area so that his blood is not remaining on the floor here. But it's very important to say that the family is looking for justice, and we know that as the police continue to investigate, they'll look onto the people that may have been on the scene, that may have seen what has taken place.
Nqobile Madlala, thank you very much indeed. A very, very tragic story.